Hello everyone, welcome to IPM IAS Academy's Daily News Highlights. Today is 9th August 2024. Let's see what are the important news for today's discussion. And before that, if you have not yet subscribed the channel, please do subscribe the channel so that you will continue to get updates regarding the civil services examination and current affairs. Yunus led Bangladesh interim government sworn in. Okay, so you know the developments that are happening in the Bangladesh, and based on that, the very new development is Yunus actually sworn in as the new Bangladesh leader. A 17-member interim government in Bangladesh under the leadership of Nobel laureate Mohammad Yunus was sworn in on Thursday, 3 days after Sheikh Hasina stepped down as the prime minister and left the country amid the protest. President Mohammad Shahabuddin administered the oath to the 84-year-old as the chief advisor of the interim government and a cabinet member at 9:20 p.m. local time at the ceremony held at Banga Bhavan, the official residence of the president. Okay, so a very crucial development that happened in Bangladesh after Sheikh Hasina left the country. So yesterday also we discussed the same news, and we also asked you to take notes about who is Mohammad Yunus and what is his contribution to the Bangladesh society and why he has got a Nobel Prize. All those points we actually discussed in the last day itself, and based on this news also, these are the important points you need to understand. So read this article and try to understand about the participation of the Bangladesh military and other political parties in this particular initiative, and also what is India's stand on this. Okay, how India is actually looking at this new development in Bangladesh. All these points are important, so read this article and try to understand about it. So this particular article is coming in page number 1, General Studies 2, International Relations. RBI holds repo rate at 6.5% for the 9th time in a row. So this news is significant. Why? Because it is actually talking about the monetary policies. And in the monetary policy, repo rate is an important crucial point, then reverse repo is an important point, cash reserve ratio is an important point, statutory liquidity ratio is an important point. So all these things you need to have an idea. In the first meeting after the union budget, the Reserve Bank of India's Monetary Policy Committee, decided to keep the policy repo rate unchanged at 6.50 for the 9th consecutive time. So here, what are the important points? Repo rate, reverse repo, CRR, SLR. You need to understand that is the monetary policy. So here they are also mentioning about the monetary policy committee. So what is this monetary policy committee and what are its duties? Understand about it. And here they are mentioning about the inflation, especially the core inflation at CPI, that is consumer price index. What do you mean by consumer price index? What do you mean by wholesale price index? WPI. So all these points you need to have an idea. These are all concepts which are highly connected with our economy. The stability of our economy is mainly based on the policies based on these concepts. So read this article and try to understand about the above mentioned points and how it is actually playing a role in stabilizing our economy. This article is coming in page number 1, General Studies 3, Indian Economy. Former Bengal Chief Minister Buddhadev Bhattacharjee dies. Former West Bengal Chief Minister and veteran communist leader Buddhadev Bhattacharjee, 80, passed away in Kolkata on Thursday. So Buddhadev Bhattacharjee was the Chief Minister of West Bengal. He served as the Chief Minister of the state for quite some time, and his contributions were remarkable. So what you need to understand is his contributions to the development of the Bengal society and also his life and achievements. So read this article and try to understand more about him and his contributions. This article is coming in page number 1, General Studies 2, Indian Polity. Viral encephalitis outbreak claims 73 lives in Gujarat. Gujarat is going through its worst outbreak of Chandipura virus and viral encephalitis, in which 73 people have died so far. The state has reported 162 cases of viral encephalitis, including 60 cases of Chandipura virus since the outbreak began last month. The disease has spread to more than 24 districts and to cities such as Ahmedabad, Rajkot, Jamnagar and Vadodara. So the Gujarat government is actually facing a tough situation because of the health problem, that is especially this virus outbreak. So it is clearly affecting their health infrastructure, health security and healthcare sector. So from that point of view, you need to understand about what is this viral encephalitis and what is this Chandipura virus. You need to have an idea about it, and what is the impact it has actually created in the Gujarat society. You need to have an idea about it, and what are the policies adopted by the Gujarat government to tackle this issue. These points you need to have an idea. So because it is actually spreading, it is spreading to other states also. So there are chances like it will spread to other part of the country also. So we need to stop this. So for that only we need more healthcare facilities and healthcare assistance. So what are the assistance the union government can actually provide? How we can make a strong defense against this particular disease outbreak? That is what we need to understand. So read this article and try to understand more about the viral encephalitis and also the Chandipura virus. A moment for just transition litigation to take wing. So this article is mainly talking about just transition litigation, the importance of that. So here they are mentioning about a particular case, and in that case Supreme Court of India recognized a human right against the adverse impact of climate change. Okay, the decision has attracted significant discourse and there were mixed reactions. Some of them were supporting this decision and some of them were opposing the decision. So by reading all these articles, you need to have an idea about the importance of just transition litigation. What is the relevance of that? And this particular concept actually emerged in 1970s as a tool to protect workers whose jobs were being threatened by increasing environmental regulations. Okay, basically this idea was emerged during 1970s only. Later, it was brought into the debates on climate change by the international trade union movement. So initially it came as a thing to address the rights of the laborers, and later it became a part of the climate change summits and their discussions. In that, direct impact of decarbonization was on workers employed in carbon intensive economies. In 2015, it was included in the International Treaty on Climate Change, the Paris Agreement. So initially it was concerning the rights of the laborers, and later it became a part of the climate change and its action, especially the Paris Agreement of climate change in 2015. And what is the advantage of this particular just transition framing? The core issue of the case that we have discussed in the beginning, that is the Ranjit Singh and others versus the Union of India case, the protection of an endangered bird, the great Indian bustard, was the major concern. And the protection was from the adverse impacts of solar and wind energy projects. This is an opportune moment for the court to frame the issue using just transition and further its conceptual boundaries. So these were the main advantages of actually, and they are also mentioning about the other advantages, the different types of advantages if you are going on with just transition litigation that are mentioned here. So read this article and try to make your own perspective regarding this kind of an initiative. This is coming in page number 8, General Studies 3, Environment. Change in Bangladesh, the challenges for India. So we are keep on discussing about it. So in that manner only we need to understand about how the change or administrative change in Bangladesh is contributing to Indian perspective or Indian scenario. That is what is mentioned here. The problems associated with Bangladesh will definitely have its own after effects in India. So India has faced a similar kind of situation before also in the year 2009 when Sheikh Hasina was going through tough times during that time. So how India is actually looking at this incident, how it is going to be helpful for our country India, that is all discussed in this article. And they also discuss about certain vulnerabilities that the Bangladesh is actually facing right now. Now we know that new sworn-in leader is Muhammad Yunus, and he came because of the popular demand of the protesters. So all these things are actually leading to the vulnerable situation that the country is going through. So read this article and try to have a clear idea about what is happening in Bangladesh and how it is actually affecting India, on what all ways it will affect India. This article is coming in page number 8, General Studies 2, International Relations. Another important news is RBI can't ignore food inflation. The food inflation, with a weight of about 46% in CPI basket, that is Consumer Price Index basket, contributed to more than 75% of the headline inflation in May, June, while vegetable prices increased sharply and contributed about 35% to headline price gains in June, says RBI Governor Das. So basically, our country is facing certain crises, especially the economic crisis, and among them one is the food inflation. Reserve Bank of India Governor Shaktikanta Das stressed that the central bank could not afford to ignore food inflation while formulating monetary policy, given the risk of spillovers which could undermine policy credibility. He said food inflation, with a weight of about 46% in the CPI basket, contributed to more than 75% of the headline inflation in May and June. So food inflation is a major cause of concern in our country, and how can we tackle this particular issue is the thing that is discussed in this particular article. High inflation pressures persisted across major food items, RBI Das says in monetary policy statement. Impact of milk price mobile tariff revisions need to be watched. There is considerable divergence between headline and core inflation, RBI notes. Any delinking of food inflation from inflation targeting framework will depend on NSO survey. So many key points are discussed here. One is, what do you mean by inflation, and what do you mean by this food inflation they are actually mentioned here. Then comes the CPI, that is Consumer Price Index. What do you mean by Consumer Price Index? So these are the important points you need to note down after reading this particular article. The entire thing will come under the ambit of economy. Other important news in today's discussion include the instability in India's neighborhood is a concern, says CDS. So, as the situation in Bangladesh remains tense, Chief of Defence Staff, that is CDS, General Anil Chauhan, on Thursday said the instability in our neighborhood is a cause of concern and flagged the threat on the western and northern borders. So, it is very important to understand this, because here we are talking about the instability in our neighboring countries and how it is affecting our security. Already we are having problems in our Pakistan borders and also in China borders, and apart from that, now we are facing tensions in Bangladesh and Myanmar and Sri Lanka. So when these neighboring countries are unstable, there are chances for threats to our country also. That is the reason why our CDS is talking about the importance of the border security and how we should actually tighten our border region, especially strengthening the border security force, etc. So based on this, try to understand about the problems that the neighboring countries are actually going through and how it is affecting India's security. So this news is coming in page number 4, General Studies 2, Indian Polity. Other news is the Waqf bill goes to JPC after an acrimonious debate in Lok Sabha. So this is a proceeding which is happening in Lok Sabha only. So it is actually related to this particular bill, Waqf Bill Amendment Bill 2024. It is very important to understand what are the important features of this bill and why there is a lot of opposition regarding this particular bill. And now the point here is it is going to JPC. So what do you mean by JPC? Joint Parliamentary Committee. So you need to understand about the Joint Parliamentary Committee also. There are different committees in our parliament, standing committees, ad hoc committees, and you need to understand about the functions of each committees, ad hoc committees and standing committee. Especially please to have an idea about the JPC, that is the Joint Parliamentary Committee, and why it is actually referred to Joint Parliamentary Committee also. So this is another important article that is coming in page number 5, General Studies 2 and Indian Polity. Assam didn't seek clearance for activities in sanctuary. So this can be coming under geography, especially under the wildlife sanctuary topic. So Assam government, they did not seek forest clearance for non-forestry activities allowed in wildlife sanctuary. So which wildlife sanctuary they are mentioning here? So they are actually talking about the Sonai Rupai Wildlife Sanctuary, which is located in Assam's Sonitpur district. Okay, it is a 220 square kilometer sanctuary. So based on this article, you need to understand about what is a wildlife sanctuary, and what is a national park, and what is a biosphere reserve, and why we need to get the clearance of forest department here, and why it is actually referred to the NGT, that is National Green Tribunal. What are the functions of NGT? We have already done a video on NGT, and I'll add the link in the description so that you can watch that video. So based on this news, these are the important points you need to understand. Okay, so this news is coming in page number 5, General Studies 1, Geography, and also General Studies 3, Environment. Ask GST Council to take a call on tax on health insurance premiums, Finance Minister. So here Finance Minister is emphasizing on the importance of GST Council and their decision making, okay, on especially on the health insurance premiums. So based on this article, you need to understand about what is the GST Council, Goods and Services Tax Council, and who are the members of this GST Council, whether all the state governments are participants in GST Council or not, what are the functions of GST Council, you need to have an idea. So everything is connected with the recent budget that was actually passed in the parliament. So based on the comments and the criticisms to the budget, the finance minister is responding. So here the minister is emphasizing more on GST, that is Goods and Services Tax Council. So please have a very clear idea about Goods and Services Tax and also about the council and its functions. This is coming in page number 6, General Studies 3, Economy. So I hope the session was useful. If it was useful, please do share it with your friends and ask them to subscribe the channel so that they will also get updates regarding civil service examination and current affairs. Here is an announcement regarding the guided PCM course 2025. So it is ideal for students, working professionals and passionate IAS aspirants, and you can learn from your own comfortable place. That is, wherever you are, you will be able to learn the concepts very clearly. That is the motto of IPM IAS Academy. And if you take the scholarship test and if you perform really well, you will get the course at a highly affordable price. Thank you.